Hello and welcome to Math Lessons with Linda. Today's topic is solving some right triangle word problems using our trig functions. So you may want to pause for a moment and write down this word problem before we start it so that you have that as a reference. So what we're going to need to do for these problems is we are going to have to construct our own right triangle based on the information that we're given. So let's read this together. A tower casts a shadow that is 60 feet long when the angle of elevation of the sun is 65 degrees. How tall is the tower? So the first thing that I think I'm going to do is I'm going to draw something that represents a tower. So here's my building. It can be very, very basic. And this tower, if there is sunshine, is going to cast a shadow. So the shadow is going to be a horizontal along the ground. And I know that the length of the shadow of this building is 60 feet. That's where my 60 goes. So I know that the tower and the ground are going to be perpendicular to each other. That's going to be where my right angle is of my triangle. So to make this into a triangle, I just need to close it up by the end of the shadow going up to the very top of the tower. So it says to find how tall the tower is. That means my variable is going to go over here. And I have one other value, the 65 degrees. So the angle of elevation to the sun means that you're standing here at the very end of the shadow. You are looking up towards the sun. So the elevation is that it is going up. And the angle that's formed between the ground and the angle of you looking up to the sky, that's where your 65 degrees goes. So I have two pieces of numerical information and I know what side I'm supposed to find. So that is enough information for me to go ahead and set up a trig equation. I cannot use special right triangles here because 65 degrees is not one of the angles that is in a special right triangle. So I'm just going to have to use a trig equation using ratios. So with this angle 65, I need to figure out what sides I have. So the x is the opposite, and the 60 is the adjacent. So opposite over adjacent tells me I've got the tangent. So I want to take the tangent of my 65 degree angle, and that is going to be equal to the opposite, which is x, over my adjacent, which is 60. Now, whenever I have a fraction in a problem, it will be easier to sort of think about if I turn it into a proportion. So in a proportion, I'm going to cross multiply to solve. So that means I do x times 1, which is x, and then I'm going to have the tangent of 65 multiplied by my 60. Now, remember that you're going to have either a scientific calculator or a graphing calculator in order to be able to complete this problem. So if you don't have one, pause and go grab it. So I'm going to take the tangent of 65. I'm going to multiply it by 60. So I'm going to get 128.67. So if you want to round to the nearest foot you can, we would say that's about 129. So remember what it is that we found. We were asked to find how tall is this tower. So the 129 represents the height of the tower in feet. And again, I could complete the triangle and verify with Pythagorean theorem or what have you, but I feel pretty confident in my work and my formula. And so I was able to answer the question that was asked of me for the height of the tower.